the population of Africa, in terms of the youth, is massive, and they really have ambitions to, be part of the overall development. So, in terms of, I want to take, having set that stage, I want to just take what I want to say within the relationship between higher education and learning network, which we have, and another chapter that we call the private sector engagement. So we're trying to balance the delegates' relationship between the higher education and the world of work. And everyone who has spoken today has talked about the issue of workforce development. So what we want to achieve is that I just want to build on what others have said, and I think Dr. Vera talked a lot about the issue of demand-driven curriculum. And on the back of that, I want to say that the connection between industry and higher education can occur through the curriculum. When you have a curriculum that is responsive to the world of work, then you're going to, that's when you know that the country is really serious and means a business. So in a variety of ways, the curriculum can allow students to understand the current needs of industry while supporting creativity and agility in graduates. So the connection between industry and higher education can occur through a curriculum, like I said. Forging relationships between industry and higher education requires trust. Someone spoke from NUC, and I saw a lot of distrust. I mean, while I listened, I saw a lot of distrust between higher education and the world of work. And he said that private sector are kind of, not really willing to give students a chance because there's a huge gap between what you have in the schools and what you have in the world of work. But I want to say that without that kind of trust, we cannot have that, we can't close that gap. And that is why I said that USAID is thinking now is localization, taking from learning from Africa learning from the world, and then we come together, and America puts a bit of its money to make sure that this works for Africa. So we have that for the private sector investors. For higher education, we have a higher education learning network, and this caters to the needs of researchers in universities. But one thing we have seen is that balancing the relationship between the private sector and the researchers in the university is it's a bit tricky. So that was why initially we had brought them together, but we realized that the private sector really wants to run. They don't have time for theory. So we have separated the private sector to have a conversation, and we have the researchers in the universities having their conversation. But the commitment that the private sector have given our project is any useful knowledge product that the higher education can bring to the table, they are willing to put their money in it. They don't want to just put in money without any research that will lead them to more success. Please, I would ask you, I think I sent it to the organizers, please, if there's a way you can let people also scan and register. We'll set up that way. Like I said, we're setting up 4 chapters. Wherever you think, if you are from the universities, you can join our higher education learning network. If you're in the private sector, you can join our social investment impact network. If you're a teacher and you're interested in early grade reading, basic education, you can join our early grade reading chapter. And if you are interested in using education to resolve conflicts and crises, you can also join our education and conflicts and crisis chapter. And you can have a very robust conversation with people all over Africa, even people all over the world. I was shocked. I had a clear demonstration of what they call globalization when we launched this project for Africa. We had 67 countries in the world participating, and Nigerians are all over the world. They were Nigerians. They wanted to know what is happening in Africa, and they were willing to be part of it. We had people from Baghdad, just name some very wide, far countries being part of that and wanting to import, bring back their knowledge to impact on what we're doing in Africa. So it's a platform that we have set up to have the young what we're even doing now is like, after setting up the private sector and all that, we now saw a lot of youth interest in the youth also want their own chapter. They want a platform to also talk. And so we are also in the process of setting up a youth chapter so that the youth can also go in there and have their conversation. So that is the platform that USAID is offering for Africa. And like I said, in terms of partnership, the times have changed. The world also knows that Africa has a lot to bring to the table. So the idea behind our project is to bring the best in Africa together. Give us your best ideas. We throw it out there to Washington and all over in the form of a concept note. You have to demonstrate that this idea works. And once you demonstrate that through a concept note, they look at it, they fund it, and it's back to Africa to make it work better for our people. So in essence, talking about, just wrapping up, talking about partnership. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from here is that the paradigm shift in partnership has changed. It's now about localization. A lot of people are now even talking about decolonization. That is something that is huge. If I start talking about that from here, we will not leave it. So decolonization is about a simple idea. You cannot shave my head behind my back. So if USAID and all the rest are going to talk about Africa, Africa has to be on the table. And that is the new paradigm shift in terms of conversation now. And that is why I'm inviting everyone to join us at the Int'l Global Platform Africa chapter, and then look at the chapters that you want. Join us. We'll set out, I think, around October, and then we have the chapters group, and then we can have this conversation, and then your voice can actually be heard, and all the knowledge you have, the ones that we find are practicable, can be funded. If they are not funded, the platform gives an opportunity to talk to like-minded researchers, like-minded people cutting across Africa. So thank you very much, and I wish you success today and of course 3 days in the course of the activity. Thank you so much for this opportunity.